friends, welcome to this week's Kids Church Mindful Moment. Here we are as we get into the summer months and the beautiful weather, and it just feels like creation is coming awake and painting the world with colors and texture and vibrancy. I wonder, do you consider yourself an artist? If you said yes, what is it that makes you an artist? And if you said no, why do you think that you're not an artist? This week in the scripture that we share here, we look at poetry that celebrates the artistry of God. God's artistry is found in the world around us, the universe around us. Maybe it's not your typical way of thinking of an artist, God as an artist. But then maybe you are an artist in a way that you don't consider to be an artist. Maybe you love organizing things. There is art in the creativity of being able to sort things out and organize them. Maybe you are an artist in the way that you play a sport. There is creativity and artistry in how you practice and perfect those moves that help you to be great at your sport. Maybe you are an artist in your curiosity about science and the way the world works, in how things are built, or how the body works, or why things fall the way they do. In all things that we do and that we excel at, there is creativity, there is curiosity, and there is joy and discovery, and all of those things help to make us all artists in our own way. So today in our mindful moment, we want to celebrate that artistry. The artistry that we find in ourselves, but really the artistry that we find in the world around us, God's art. And God's art is not just in beauty, but also in the science of it all. So I have a science experiment that we can turn into a piece of art. For this science experiment, we're going to need some unusual ingredients. We are going to need some milk and a flat plate. We will need some food coloring. If you have different colors, that would be great. We will need some Q-tips and some dish soap. That part is to do the science. And if you want to go and then make your science into art, you might want to grab some thick paper. I've cut my paper into smaller pieces so it fits easily in the plate. And this is slightly thicker than our regular printer paper because we're going to get it wet. And so we want the paper to still stay kind of flat after it gets wet. It will still work with printer paper. If all you have is thin paper, that's okay. Just know that part of your art will be the way that the paper waves and dries. So let's get started with the artistry of science. To start, we are going to take our milk and pour a thin layer so it covers the whole bottom of our plate. Now this is white milk on a white plate. I don't know how easy that is to see, but there we go. And then we're going to take our food coloring and drop little drops of food coloring. You want them just as drops, so not quite lines, drops in various places on your plate, and you can put them wherever you like. You can do it multiple times and see how the different patterns work differently. I've put some red, some blue. I'm going to add a little bit of a pinky purple. There we go. And now begins the science. So our milk is full of fats. And fats don't like soap, which means I am going to get some soap on my Q-tip And let's see what happens when I put the soap into the milk. Wow. How beautiful is that? You can take it out and you can try it somewhere else. And you can keep moving your Q-tip around and watch how the colors move and marble as they move away from the soap. Isn't that amazing? That is science as art. It is so beautiful. Okay, once you've had fun moving the colors around on your plate, this is where you can turn it into art that you can keep. We're going to grab a piece of paper and very gently we're going to drop that onto our plate and then pick it up. And there is the marbling now on our page. So we can lay that to dry. I'm going to weigh mine. There we go. And you can try it again with the same plate, because as you do that, you'll see it changes the marbling again. So let's grab another piece of paper and drop our paper somewhere else. There's our second page. And we'll lay that to dry. And you can keep going. You can also throw this one out and start with a new one and watch the colors move. Sometimes learning to be mindful, to be present with God's beauty, is to take time to watch how the world works around us. How do things interact? And to look for the beauty in how things work. Today's science turned into art invites us when we need a moment to stop and notice, pay attention to how things interact, allow ourselves to be surprised by the beauty that happens. Without any effort, without any skill, it comes out beautiful. Many of our psalms and poems about God center around this idea that God's artistry is all around us. It is in the fine details of life. It is in the big landscapes of life. What we are invited to do is open our eyes and notice and become part of that art. So I hope that today, in playing around with the science of soap and milk, that you are able to be a part of that beauty for a moment. And I hope that you are able to capture it, and maybe you can use your papers that you created to create beautiful notes of kindness that you can give out to people or leave in places for others to find. That your art might then be spread through the world as well. Well, my friends, whether you consider yourself an artist or not, God's artistry is in you. You are beautiful and creative, and there is much in the world for you to discover and be a part of. Be a part of making this world a beautiful world. And may you do so with a blessing on your heart for every step of that journey. May there be love in your heart to give. May there be joy in your heart to share. And may there be strength in your heart to lift others up. See ya.